Did you see Barack Hussein Obama last night? Take little shots. He was taking shots at your president. And so was Michelle. You know, they always say, sure, please stick to policy. Don't get personal. And yet they're getting personal all night long, these people. Do I still have to stick to policy?
Are they going to arrest Obama? I can see the headlines now. Trump troops to arrest Obama. And they do. Something's wrong with the man. I really thought it was dangerous to use your phone on the airplane, but apparently that man got hold, so he got on his Truth Social and he called for Obama to be arrested. Now you know what happened the last time when he got on his Truth Social and expressed who he wanted arrested. And they try to make it happen, old Pam Bondi. So I just wonder, will this Todd Blanche, will he do the same?
I did not appreciate the Barack Obama presidency enough between the ages of 7 and 15 because God, I miss Obama. I just miss like having a normal dude in the White House. Like, even if you disagreed with his politics, you could understand that he was an upstanding person and a good guy. At the same time, he had this impenetrable, unrelenting aura around him. Yeah, he was the commander-in-chief sometimes, but other times he was just Barack. Rewatching a lot of old clips, I miss when presidents were just normal people. Do you want to know what I miss equally as much as the Barack Obama presidency? Michelle Obama in the White House. God, dude, I miss Michelle. The first ladies, as far as I know, are not obligated to actually do anything, but every first lady before Melania was doing shit. But Michelle, she was doing the most. She was catching heat from some of the most far-right politicians out there because she said kids should eat healthier meals. Now we haven't had a baddie in the White House since 2016, and it absolutely shows. What the hell has Melania Trump actually done? For real, though. Every time she's on camera and she speaks, it looks like it's painful for her to do so. Michelle here was out on iCarly and doing promos for the Penguins of Madagascar like a regular person. Meanwhile, Melania can't even say the word pickles. It's weird. Even if they weren't in politics, Barack and Michelle would be such a power couple, man. They both have this no-nonsense swagger and aura about them, but at the same time, they're just so fun. I miss having them around. Come home, Obama. The babysitter is weird.
I miss Obama, I do. Like his politics or not, you gotta admit, he was the best at the job of being president. The affability, the charm, the man looks good in a suit. Yes, and it sucks for him. He could only do the job he was best at for 8 years. Let him be president other places. The way athletes go to other teams.
And this is how you know that the Obamas were the people's choice. Because they are taking Trump through there. I'm talking about everybody turning Trump every which way but loose about the Obamas. And that's how you know them was the people's choice.
MAGA voters are now coming out admitting and confessing that they miss Obama, despite the fact that during his reign he received a lot of backlash. But comparatively, he did much way better than Trump. Everything that Obama did, he did it much way better than Trump. And they're admitting that they miss Obama, they miss his presidency, they miss how he used to do his things, how he used to handle his things. They miss him as the president. So let us get to watch the rest of the videos. I'll be right back. I'll be sharing my thoughts in regards to this. As you get to watch these videos, please let me know your thoughts concerning all of this down in the comment section.
Obama did it better. Obama did it better. The new talking point from MAGA is, well, Obama dropped bombs too. Yeah, he did. And he did it better. Obama was able to use surgical strikes and limited military operations to take out targets and not start a fucking war. How about that shit? He did it better. In fact, most of the things that the Trumpies like about Trump, Obama did better. We'll go with unemployment. Obama did better. Economy. Obama did better. Deportations. Obama did better. He was able to deport way more people than Donald Trump, and he's able to do it on 1/10 of the freaking budget. Yeah? And without sending fucking goon squads into American cities. Obama did it better. Obama was able to get across a healthcare bill. Trump can't. Obama did it better. Obama was able to get tax cuts for the low and middle class. Trump for the upper class, for the rich. Obama did it better. So trying to say that Obama did it too on any subject just shows the failure of Trump and the failure of his people to recognize that everything that Trump said Obama did it fucking better. They just don't like that a black man did it better than a white man. And one last point, let's not forget that Obama was able to get Iran to enter into a non-proliferation treaty for nukes. Trump couldn't do it, so Obama did it better.
Arrest Obama. That's where we're at right now. That's where we're at right now. That's how desperate Donald Trump is. He wants to arrest Obama. Oh my goodness gracious. This dude is just grasping at all the straws that he could possibly grasp at to keep the attention off himself, to try to deflect and point to anybody else but himself and his fuck-ups. He spent all these years talking about how Russia was a hoax. And now he wants to focus on that and say, arrest Obama. And of course, he has his sycophants that are cheerleading this and promoting this. But this is where we're at. Donald Trump is now pushing to arrest Obama. Obama got out of office. What time? We're in 2025. Trump had 4 years in office prior to this term. 4 years. Where he had access to all the information. Access to all the intelligence agencies. But now in the year 2025, he wants to really push for arresting Obama. I wonder why.
Trump forgot Obama was president?
Do you think President Xi is a dictator? No, but I think that President Biden was an incompetent president. He gave us the Iran nuclear deal, which allowed Iran to have a nuclear weapon within a matter of years.
The Iran nuclear deal was signed during Barack Obama's second term, when Joe Biden was vice president, but not president. And Obama lives rent-free in that man's head. How could he possibly forget? But did he actually answer the question?
Do you think President Xi is a dictator or not? I don't think about it. Right. He's the ruler. He's the president of China. I don't think about it.
Yet another thing Donald Trump does not think about. He went on to say, you have to deal with what you've got. And President Xi loves his country, and he's a very smart man, and he respects him. And we have to deal with what we have here in the United States now, don't we? Yes, we do. This man is the one with the codes to the nukes. I want you to remember that every single day. And the media is not highlighting his flaws, his inability, and his unfitness for the role the way they did every time Joe Biden mispronounced a freaking word.
I got up and got on my phone and I saw this video that made me it made me smile.
Sasha, I have a Sasha.
It was Barack and Mamdani. They walk into a classroom with little kids and they just have a fun time with them. They, sing songs. The bus go round, 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 And they introduced themselves, and it was just cool, their interaction with the kids. And to see Mamdani and Barack playing, it was just, I was just smiling. It was just something we needed, man. Some people might go, oh, that was just for some camera. It doesn't matter, man. With the way things are going right now, that was needed. That made me feel good. There's got to be some kind of humanity in all of this bullshit. Every politician can't be so. I think, this is what I think, okay? When we see politicians act a certain way, they say one thing and then they do the other. I think that the system is rigged where politicians have to abide by certain things. I think that the people we see on TV, they're not the true power. I think they say what they can say, and then the people that are running that you don't see say, yeah, that was a good speech, but you're gonna have to do this, this, and that, all right? You know what I'm saying? So that's just what I think sometimes. That's why when we go, yeah, but why did he sign this bill? Well, he said this and he did this. I think they have no choice. That's what I feel, and if they don't abide by those rules, you're out of there. So that's just my theory. It is what it is. But it was cool to see that, some humanity, because with this administration that's rotting in the White House, it just seems like there's no humanity, no humility, just narcissism, racism. It's all the isms, the anti-blackness, the anti-brown, it's too much. It's an overflow of racism. Now listen, I understand racism ain't going no fucking where. Some of it is it's how it's too much racism? Even some white people are like, I know I'm racist, but this is a lot. This is like racism on steroids. You know what I'm saying? It's like every 5 minutes there's something hateful. Every 5 minutes, the administration is doing something fucked up to people. It's like they don't go to sleep until they're fucking somebody's life up. That's how I feel. But this video was pretty fucking cool. Shout out to Barack and Mamdani for that. I just thought it was cool. You guys let me know. Peace. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round.
Gets brutally clever. Democratic candidates are running ads that tie Republican Representatives Bill Huizenga in the 4th District and Tom Barrett in the 10th District directly to every insult Trump has ever hurled at Canada. The framing is devastating in its simplicity. They are calling these attacks unprovoked, reckless, and explicitly damaging to Michigan's economy. The message boils down to this: a vote for Huizenga or Barrett is a vote for empty storefronts, lost jobs, and continued chaos at the border. And when the economic pain is verifiable, when voters can drive down a main street and see the boarded up windows themselves, that message becomes nearly impossible to counter. But the real symbol of this disaster is the Gordie Howe International Bridge. This is one of the largest binational infrastructure projects in North American history. It is supposed to represent Michigan's economic future, a gleaming artery of commerce connecting Detroit to Windsor, and Trump has threatened to block it. He has suggested interfering with its operation. He has used it as a bargaining chip in his tariff wars. For Michigan voters, that is not just an attack on Canada. That is an attack on their own children's future. And they are remembering it at the ballot box. Now expand your view beyond Michigan, because the damage is spreading across the entire northern frontier. In New York, outlet malls that once teemed with Canadian shoppers crossing for weekend buying trips now sit largely empty. In Vermont, duty-free shops, businesses that depend almost entirely on cross-border traffic, are reporting revenue declines exceeding 80%. That is an existential threat. Some of those duty-free operators have already closed their doors, and many more are expected to follow unless the political climate shifts dramatically. In North Dakota, seasonal tourism businesses that rely on a short summer window to generate their entire year's revenue have watched that window slam shut as Canadian families choose to vacation at home rather than cross a border whose president has insulted their nation. In Washington state, the tourism boards are publicly flagging a mounting economic crisis that cuts across red counties and blue counties alike. And here is what I find genuinely stunning. Even Republican senators are now breaking with Trump on this issue, publicly and privately. A bipartisan coalition that includes Republican Senator Steve Daines of Montana has begun pushing for renewal of the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement trade framework. Why? Because their own constituents are being hammered. Montana ranchers, Washington fruit growers, New York dairy farmers, they are all feeling the pain of retaliatory tariffs and consumer boycotts. Daines and his colleagues understand something that Trump apparently does not. Political survival sometimes requires distancing yourself from your own president. When sitting Republican senators feel forced to go public against the leader of their party, you know the situation has become genuinely untenable. Let me pause here and talk about the deeper political theory at play, because I believe we are watching something historically significant unfold. For nearly a decade, a core assumption has dominated American political analysis, that nationalism.
Donald Trump just called for the arrest of Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton for treason. Be very clear what's happening here. He's having a systematical meltdown right in front of the nation because, one, he's got a lot of problems. How do I know? Because he's had several MRIs over the last 15 months. Now, I'll be honest with you. I didn't understand what that meant. I didn't know the difference between a CAT scan and an MRI until this month. Because this month, I had a small stroke. I'm okay. I got very lucky. But the reason I understand this is because I had a CAT scan, and I had an MRI. And in both cases, the MRI particularly was a big deal. They don't do MRIs on people unless there's something really wrong. They have done, in the last 15 months, an MRI on this man roughly 3 to 4 times. You don't do that on someone unless there's some series of problems that are really, really bad. No way in the world Obama had, or Biden had, or Reagan, or any had 3 MRIs within 15 months. He's approaching death. It's coming up. It's time. I said he'd be gone by July. Honestly, if he's gone, and I say this again, J.D. Vance end could be even worse. It's not a time for celebration. It's a time to get ready to keep fighting and keep focused and jump in on J.D. Vance's ass. But here's the real truth about this, and I want you to understand, is that we're dealing with someone who is systematically breaking down. Again, I'm okay. Lifestyle changes I was already doing before, but now it's really happening so I can get better. Everything's fine. But I want you to understand, for me to have this at 55, and then for him to have this at nearly 80, I'm telling you, this guy is in meltdown mode in his body, in his mind. Doctors across the web have said that he's having dementia mode and he's out the door. But what I keep telling all of you is don't worry about that. Chill out and realize what's going on. His meltdown is going to be a combination of bringing down himself, his partners in these grifts and all this other weird shit he's doing to steal from America, as well as the administration, and even more importantly, the GOP Republican Party. You know, I was listening to one of his former advisors, Scaramucci, and Scaramucci was saying some real stupid shit about, Democrats can't stand all of the Republicans, all 70 million of them. And he said some real stupid shit like, grow up. I said, whoa. And I responded on his social media, grow up? What do you mean grow up? That's some typical white boy shit. Grow up? Tell you what.
This whole how come you're mad at Trump but not at Obama for the deportation numbers cracks me up, because that just means that Obama's better. Obama did it better, faster, more efficient, with less American lives lost and less protests. Although there were nationwide ones, if you remember, like I do, because I was alive during then. We called him the deporter in chief. We, as in Democrats, the ACLU and the activist groups, because we didn't like the policies either. And do you know what the Republicans did? They called us morons and said that we ate our own and we didn't just get in line and there was no united front to us Democrats. And so, weren't we hilarious? We weren't to be taken seriously. Mr. Marco Rubio and Miss Lindsey Graham were up there all the time talking about executive overreach. Look at him now, shining bright as a penny on that Air Force One, with zero values and scruples left. But I digress. What you're telling me is Obama's better. What you're telling me is that none of this shit in Minneapolis is necessary, because Obama did it better, faster, stronger. Trump sucks at his job, and this is just another indication of that.
After everything backfiring on MAGA voters, they are now coming out confessing that they miss Obama. They miss him as the president. They miss how he used to handle things, how he used to lead them. They miss everything about Obama. And comparatively, Obama did everything way much better than Trump. Everything that Obama did, he did it much way better than Trump. They miss Obama. And remember, the same people are the same people that voted for the orange guy. And I'm very much sure that these people never voted for policies. They voted for identity. They voted for the orange guy simply because he's an white guy. They felt that maybe the United States could not be led by a black lady, by a black person. While a white person is there, they felt that the United States maybe could not be led by a black lady before a white lady does. So they came out, voted against their best interests, voted for identity, not policies, and now they are facing the harsh consequences of their votes. They miss Obama, they miss black leaders, they miss the United States being led by a black leader. And they accept the fact that Obama was much way better than Trump. Anyway, let me know what you think about all this down in the comment section.